fellow cultists, welcome back to Doki Doki Literature Club Plus. We're about to start things off by going into the other side story, which is Trust Part 2. I don't know if there are any other side stories, but they'll probably pop up as we continue this game. So I apologize if I'm gonna be drinking a lot of water in this episode. I just woke up and it's raining outside, so you might be hearing some drops and rains from the microphone. This is a very powerful microphone, but if I sound hoarse, that's why. That's because I just woke up from sleeping. So let's start off with part 2. Begin the side story? Yes. Another day passes in a flash, and it's already time for the next club meeting. Although Monika should have come up with a plan for today's club task, she hasn't been able to shake her guilt and anxiety after reading Sayori's poem. Why did she feel guilty? I'm so stupid. How did I let myself be the center of attention? I don't think that's your fault. Sayori is going through these kinds of feelings, and I'm letting her confront me instead of the other way around. What kind of club president does that? This whole time, I didn't think to ask her about her own feelings. So much for the stupid vision. Sayori enters the club room with her usual smile, but upon seeing the downcast Monika, her smile quickly fades into an expression of concern. Monika? Is everything okay? Ellipsis. I'm really sorry. I'm such a terrible friend. Huh? What are you talking about? You're an amazing friend. Monika shakes her head. That's what she's doing. I made this all about myself. Even you said so yesterday. You told me that I'm trying to make the club that I need the most, right? But my problems are so trivial compared to yours. Sayori responds quietly. What are you talking about? But as she says that, her face darkens. Through the silence, Sayori mutters her realization. I left my folder here. Monika stares blankly ahead, unable to come up with a response. I wasn't ready to share those. Now you're worrying about me. I don't want that. But why? We're friends, right? Oh, this is gonna be something very deep that's probably gonna hit harder later on. Wordless, Sayori nods. Friends look out for each other. I want to be here for you as much as you're here for me. Another long moment passes in silence. The air is incredibly heavy. This is different. It wasn't just about you yesterday, it was about the club. Besides, things were so happy yesterday. You don't need to do this all of a sudden. I don't want it. I like happy, so if you do this, then you're just being selfish. Ellipsis. Monika massages her forehead, struggling through the frustration of such a paradox. It's understandable that Sayori isn't ready to share certain things. But as unfair as it is for Monika to pry, it is also painful for Monika to force herself to ignore the needs of her friends. I think everybody in high school and college goes through these sorts of things when they're trying to make a club. Like, is this club for everybody or is it for me? I'm sorry I looked. I disrespected your privacy. No, I don't blame you for looking. You would have at least needed to check if it was mine. Yeah. Monika takes a deep breath. Okay, I understand that you don't want me to worry, and I think I'll be able to put this aside so we can move on. But can you promise me something? Promise you what? Monika pauses to collect her thoughts. This is the Literature Club. It's a place where people can express themselves in the ways that life normally doesn't allow them to. That's sort of like every art website that I know of that we are told that we can express ourselves freely. Freedom of expression, freedom of speech. But then we have the boomers and the woke crowd pretty much trying to deny us that expression. That's the vision. In fact, it's our vision. Right the way into your heart or whatever. So I just want you to promise me that you'll remember that too. It doesn't have to be right now, but I want to be here for you when you need it. I want us to be ourselves like that. Sayori smiles gently. I'll promise if you promise. Unable to help it, Monika returns Sayori's smile. Promise. Me too. As the conversation closes, the mood in the room is lifted. With that behind them, it's time to proceed with the club activities. So, want to teach me about poetry? Huh? But what about recruitment? It's fine, we have plenty of time for that. But right now, I feel like I want to do this. I mean, I do have to fulfill my end of the promise, you know? There's no way I could say no to that. Just don't expect much. I do a lot of writing, but it's not like I'm a scholar or anything. You're almost close to there's gonna be somebody that's gonna be like Edgar Allan Poe. That's fine. I think I just need, like, some motivation. I never know where to start when it comes to writing poems. Starting isn't so hard. You just need to write down your feelings and see where it takes you. You know, it's probably easier if you had an idea book. Yeah, but that wouldn't come out any good. It's not supposed to. You're gonna have to fight your perfectionist mind on this one. You can just start by writing your feelings and see what kind of things it makes you think of. And then you can turn your feelings into a little story. You can get your feelings down first, and then make it sound pretty later. It's not like building a railroad where you go from one end to the other. It's more like a college where you find all the things you want to put in, and then collage. That's what it's supposed to be pronounced as. And then you arrange them in a pretty way. But if you're trying to make a railroad track that goes from point A to point B, then that would probably just turn it into a big riddle. What's the shortest route from Florida to Nome, Alaska? A straight line. But some people would probably say it's a curved line. At least that's how I do it. It's not like the only way. But it's a really good way to not get stuck right at the beginning. I understand. Yeah, I always get so caught up in how it sounds that I forget about what's actually important. Monika pulls out a pen and paper to start writing on. Stop being a perfectionist, you idiot. I'm just kidding. Monika scribbles out, "You idiot," after she writes it down. No, keep it. Why? You calling me an idiot? Oh, this might, sour some things. Of course not. But the point is that you're not supposed to police your feelings, right? Be as dramatic as you want. But I was just, well, yeah. Underneath the scribble, Monika writes, "You idiot." She stares at the paper. Her words stare back at her. It's sort of like me when I want to get back to reviewing doujinshi, and hopefully it'll be soon. I just need to finish my intro sequence, title sequence, whatever, and pretty much say to myself, don't hold back. It's kind of funny how I wrote down what I'm mad at myself for, and then I did that exact thing anyway. This is really gonna take some getting used to. I believe in you. Thanks, I do too. Me, I mean. But also you, of course. Monika continues the exercise, jotting down her thoughts. It's surprisingly quite a struggle to write without overthinking it. But after a while, with Sayori's guidance and encouragement, Monika's sheet of paper begins to look fairly lively, peppered with all of her random thoughts. Phew! Monika looks up and down at her sheet. Gosh, I feel so tense looking at this. I hate it, but it's also kind of liberating. I can tell how hard you're trying. It makes me happy. I think you'll be good at writing poems. Don't give me too much credit. I'd have to try really, really hard at it. But I think it's sometimes that I'll enjoy doing. With you, Sayori beams. I'll stop here, but we still have time. Let's try to work on a new flyer for the club. I won't be so picky about the language. Yeah, let's do it. Well, if you want to make a flyer, the easiest thing that you can probably do is say, "We are the Literature Club. Come join us." With each passing day, the two of them become more confident in the club. Not simply for their recruitment planning, but from their vision as well. As their bond strengthens, so does the essence of the Literature Club. Finally, they begin to truly feel it's only a matter of time before they find more members. They're gonna find 2 more, then plus 1 more later on. Another day passes, as usual. Monica is the first one to the club room. With her is a printout of the revised Literature Club flyer, complete with all the all-new ideas Monica and Sayori came up with. If only this was the flyer we gave to that one reading girl the other day. It's so much more attractive than the old one. But the new catchphrase is featured clearly in the center of the flyer. Write the way into your heart. Surely, common sense would say that one writes from the heart, not into the heart. Into the heart? But the message being delivered is that one that can use writing to discover themselves. Hopefully, Monica and Sayori had thought that it would be enough to garner some curiosity from students. Why do I feel so tense looking at this? Monica thinks back to the previous meeting when she performed the writing exercise. Was I always this bad at expressing myself? How am I supposed to be president if I can't even demonstrate what the club is supposed to be about? The Literature Club is truly beginning to take form. But with that, the weight on Monica's shoulders only becomes heavier. Debate Club was always about rigid structure, formulating airtight points and counterpoints and delivering them with conviction. Sort of like what's going on Twitter right now. It was about the person on the outside. That's why Monica was so good at it. It existed entirely within her realm of comfort. It's suffocating. I need to break through this mental wall. I need to learn to express myself for real. Monica pulls out a sheet of paper and grabs her pen. She presses the tip of the pen firmly against the paper. But her hand doesn't move. Did your hand fall asleep? Instead, a tiny blot of ink collects around the tip of her hand. Hey, I remember something Sayori saying this, that if you pretty much have writer's block and you don't know what to write, you're just going to get a blot of ink on the paper. Monica lifts her pen and stares at the little blotch. For some reason, she feels compelled to run her finger across it. As she does, the black ink smears across the paper, ruining Monica's canvas. Ugh! Out of spite for herself, Monica presses her pen down once again, letting the ink collect. What kind of pen is she using? A fountain pen? She creates a second smear on the paper. Come on, Monica. Just move your hand. I can't move my hand. Monica writes. This is what I get for seeking perfection. A stain. Huh. Actually, that's actually a pretty good point. Monica slides the paper away from her and puts her head down on the desk. Falls asleep. The air conditioner seems louder today. White noise. I'm here. Hi. Monica hears Sayori approach her desk, then stop for a second, probably reading the piece of paper. Then she sits down in the adjacent desk. Bad day? Mm-hmm. Me too. You too? The new flyer looks so good. You've been working so hard. On the club, but also something else, I think. And the other thing is stop being a perfectionist. I can't do it. I'm sorry. It's so hard to just be vulnerable. Sayori takes the sheet of paper from Monica's desk. She writes something down, then stares at it for a while. Can I trust you? Of course. You could trust me with anything. Sayori gazes at Monica with sadness in her eyes. Uh-oh. Understanding the signal, Monica takes the paper from Sayori's desk and reads it. Oh no. No. This is foreshadowing for what we're gonna get later. Sometimes I want to die. Let's see what she has to say. Sayori. This is really, really hard for me. Her voice shakes, so if I can't do it, then you can't. Then you can too, because you're like a million times better than me. Oh, she's crying! That's completely not true. Sayori takes a deep breath, trying to steady herself. That's something about me that I've never told anyone before. Even now, my head is, like, screaming at me to stop. Wait, you don't have to force yourself. I mean, it's just because of the promise yesterday. I want to. It just feels right. I mean, maybe it's part of the reason I came to this club in the first place. This is the literature club. I trust you more than I'm scared. At those words, Monica stands up. Sayori must have taken days to work up the courage for this. Were Monica's own futile but genuine efforts actually the push that Sayori needed? Sayori deliberate breaths deliberate words, Zero, can be heard over the air conditioner. As she prepares to continue, Monica waits in gentle silence. I have this problem where I get really upset when people worry too much about me. I can't control it. It's like, why waste your energy worrying about me when you can just be happy instead? So I never tell anyone about these kinds of thoughts I have. It's so much easier to just smile and everyone else happy. This is getting deep. But that's terrible. That's what Monica wants to say, but she stops herself in fear of saying the wrong thing. It's just that everyone knew about it. They wouldn't treat me the same anymore. Like, whenever I'm not smiling, everyone would worry about me and ask me what's wrong. So you put on a fake smile. I know that because it used to be like that. Sayori pauses, seeming to recall something in the past. I just want everyone to be happy. That's the most important thing to me. And letting people look inside my head doesn't bring happiness to anyone. Sayori pauses again, her solemn expression making her look almost like an entirely different person. How did you find the courage to tell me this? You're not worried that I'll be one of those people too? I am worried. Part of me really hates myself for doing this, but another part of me, I think, just felt like it would be different this time. Whenever we talk about what the club is supposed to mean, I kept feeling like it was right for me to do. Especially after you've been trying so hard to express yourself too. It just made me feel like I could say it in confidence, and our friendship doesn't have to change. It's so silly. The club is only 2 people, but it already means this much to me. Monica feels a tightening sensation in her heart. A feeling of connection as Sayori's emotions radiate between them. Me too. I was so lost until you showed up. You're so brave, Sayori. You're so strong and brave. I don't even compare. Monica steps forward. But if nothing else, I can at least offer you some hug energy. If you like. New graphics. Wordlessly and without a smile, Sayori rests her forehead on Monica's shoulder. Through their contact, Monica can almost feel the torrent of thoughts swimming in Sayori's head. And in this moment, enchanted by the air of the club, Monica realizes that all of the days that have passed, this is the one where she really, really hopes that nobody new walks through the door. She speaks softly. You're like the sweetest girl I ever met. You can say anything. I'll never judge you. I promise. Sayori's breath begins to quiver. She takes several deep breaths, trying as hard as she can to start speaking, to say the things she never once dared to say out loud. Finally, she speaks in a choked voice. I'm so worthless. I'm worthless and everyone would be better off without me. She suppresses a sob as a tear falls down her cheek. I'm just an inconvenience to everyone. I'm not good at anything, and it just feels like everyone just has to put up with me. And I hate it. I hate it. Oh, this is hitting hard. The more Sayuri speaks, the more she fails to control her voice, falling victim to the overwhelming sadness clutching at her throat and chest. I don't want to have these thoughts. I want them to go away. And now I'm making you put up with me, and I just want to die. Oh boy. That pretty much makes what happens in the future all the more painful. As soon as Sayuri loses her composure, Monica becomes determined to keep her own. She only wants to be what Sayuri needs right now, so she won't let any sadness show. Her voice comes through as soft and gentle. This isn't putting up with you. It's just being your friend. Monica offers a few words of comfort, but she knows Sayuri said it herself, that the thoughts Sayuri experiences are one that doesn't belong, and Monica can't magically make them go away. The most she can do is help Sayuri battle them, like any good friend would do. You have so much value, to me, and your other friends too. This club wouldn't have been the same without you. I really, really mean that. You coming here was the best thing that could have happened. Even if we never got any new members, I would still be happy. That's what you brought here. Oh, this is getting heavy. You brought us a vision, and you also brought happiness. And that's your favorite thing to do, right? Sayuri doesn't respond, but Monica feels her gentle nod. No more words are needed between them. The two share their embrace for a while longer, Monica letting Sayuri take as much time as she needs. Once her breathing steadies and her sniffles fully cease, Sayuri lifts her head and wipes her eyes. I guess I needed that. Some days are harder than others. Well, I'm here whenever you need me. But any other time, I'll make sure that things are the way they usually are. If that's what makes you happy. Thanks. You're the best. No, you are. The two exchange smiles. You know, I'm sorry to bring this up all of a sudden, but have you considered talking to a professional? Sayuri nods. It's scary, since it's already so hard to tell people. Yeah, this just got heavy. Maybe this isn't the game for me, especially with what I'm going through. More details on that another time. Well, of course it will always be your choice, but if you're ever looking to find the courage for it, I could do my best to help you. Thanks. I think it helps knowing that you would. Sayuri suddenly yawns and stretches. That made me so tired and hungry. Well, I won't make you do any work today if you're not up to it. No, I want to. I mean, I could say that it's definitely one thing that makes me happy. Monica smiles. But I might want to get a snack first. All of a sudden, the sound of the door causes the two of them to turn their heads. The door opens halfway, then stops. A face peeks inside. A face that seems familiar. And that ends the side stories. I know there's probably one more, but I think they'll only pop up once we continue on with the game. And okay, that hit hard, and it's gonna hit harder as we go on with the game. There's more pictures here. The two writings that we saw with those two smears, it's not here. Oh, but that's there. Oh, that hit hard. That actually does hit hard. I wonder what the promos are. And we got some more music. Alright, let us continue on with Doki Doki Literature Club for the remaining half hour. Another day passes and it's time for the club meeting already. I've gotten a little more comfortable here over the past couple days. Entering the club room, the usual scene greets me. Hi, Ryoko. Yo, Sayori. Looks like you're in a good mood today. Not like the good mood that I just saw a few minutes ago. I'm just still not used to you being in the club, that's all. I see. That's a pretty simple thing to get you in a good mood. But I guess it's always the simple things with you anyway. Speaking of which, I'm kind of hungry. Will you come with me to buy a snack? No thanks. That's not like you at all. I have my reasons. Why don't we take a look at your purse, Sayori? Why that all of a sudden? No reason really, I just want to look at it. Sayori nervously retrieves her coin purse. She fumbles with the latch to get it open. Then she turns it upside down and lets its contents spill onto the desk. Only 2 small coins fall out. Yep, she has no money and she wants me to pay for her snack. Not going to happen. I knew it. I could see right through you, Sayori. That's not fair. How did you even know? It's simple. If you had enough money in the first place, you would have bought a snack before coming to the club room. So either you're not hungry and wanted an excuse to take a walk, or you plan to conveniently forget that you spent all your money so that I would lend you some. But there's one more thing. You're always hungry. And so, that only leaves the one option. I give up. Don't make me feel guilty. Not like the guilt that you had in the few minutes ago from that side story. Because I have a feeling that is gonna bite me right in the ass later. If you feel guilty, that means you deserve to feel guilty. Ha. Yuri suddenly giggles. I didn't notice she was listening in. She's a mysterious character. Her face is in her book, as always. I wasn't listening or anything. It was just something in my book. Yuri, tell Zero to let me borrow some money. Don't get me involved like that, Sayori. Besides, you should only buy what you can responsibly afford. And frankly, after putting a mischievous little stunt like that, you're suffering as fair enough retribution. Pretty large words. I didn't mean that. I got too absorbed into my book. I really like it when you speak your mind, Yuri. It doesn't happen much, but it's a fun side of you. There's no way you could think that. You were right, though. I did something bad, and now I have to accept the revolution. No, it's supposed to be accept the responsibility, not revolution. No. I got that wrong, too. Retribution. That. Still coming from you, Sayori. I guess there's a little devil inside all of us, isn't there? And that's gonna bite us in the ass. Don't let her fool you. Sayori knows exactly what she's doing. After all, she told you guys she was bringing me to the club before she even told me. But you wouldn't have come if it weren't for the cupcakes. So I had to trick Natsuki into making them. Come on, give me more credit than that, Sayori. Out of nowhere, something smacks Sayori in the face and tumbles onto the desk. Ow! What was that? A cookie? Sure enough, it's a giant cookie wrapped in plastic. Sayori glances around. Is this a miracle? It's because I paid my restitution. Retribution. Actually, that one almost worked. I was just gonna give it to you, but then I heard you blab about the cupcakes. It was totally worth seeing your reaction, though. Natsuki, that's so nice of you. I'm so happy. Sayori hugs the cookie. Jeez, just eat it. Just eat it. Sayori rapidly tears open the wrapper and takes a big bite. I wonder how big the bite was. So good. Sayori suddenly claps her hands over her mouth. I bit my tongue. She's gonna get a canker sore after that. You're gonna go through a lot over just one cookie. Natsuki takes a bite of her own cookie. Ah, yours looks really good too, Natsuki. Can I try it? Jeez, beggars can't be choosers. But yours is chocolate. Yeah, why do you think I gave you that one? I'd rather have hazelnut white chocolate. Fine. Still, I'm really happy that you share this one with me. Sayori gets out of her seat and goes behind Natsuki, then wraps her arms around her. Jeez. I get it. Cookie still in hand, Natsuki reaches up to nudge Sayori off of her. Sayori suddenly leans down and takes a bite out of Natsuki's... Hey! Did you seriously just do that? Mouth full, Sayori trots away to safety. Yuri and I laugh as well. Jeez, you're such a kid sometimes. Monika, can you tell Sayori? Natsuki glances around. Monika isn't in the club room. Where's Monika anyway? Good question. Have any of you heard anything about her being late today? Not me. Yeah, I haven't either. That's a bit unusual. I hope she's okay. Of course she's okay. She probably just had something to do today. She's pretty popular after all. Not only that, but she's part of the debate club. You don't think she has a... that wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised. She's probably more desirable than all of us combined. That's not true. If anything, Natsuki reminds me of Iron Mouse, and Yuri reminds me of Silverveil, and Sayori probably reminds me of Melody. Don't tell them I said that. Excuse me? Suddenly the door swings open. Sorry, I'm super sorry. There you are. I didn't mean to be late. I hope you guys weren't worried or anything. Monika chooses the club over her boyfriend after all. You're so strong-willed. Boyfriend? What on earth are you talking about? Monika quizzically glances at me. Never mind that. What held you up anyway? Well, my last period today was study hall. To be honest, I kinda just lost track of time. That makes no sense, though. You would have heard the bell ring, at least. Must not have heard it since I was practicing piano. Piano? Aha, she plays the piano. I wasn't aware you played music as well, Monika. I don't really. I kinda just started recently. I've always wanted to learn piano. That's so cool. You should play something for us, Monika. Monika looks at me. Maybe once I get a little bit better, I will. Yay! That sounds cool. I'd also look forward to it. That's so. In that case, I won't let you down, Zero. Monika smiles sweetly. I didn't mean any pressure or anything like that. Don't worry. I've been practicing a whole lot recently, and I'd really love the chance to share once I'm ready. I see. In that case, best of luck. Thanks. So, I didn't miss anything, did I? No, you missed a really good comedy skit. I chose to leave out Sayori's mischievous escapade. I'm sure Natsuki will end up complaining to her anyway. It looks like everyone has already settled down. Sayori somehow already finished her entire cookie. Her mouth is probably covered in chocolate. Yuri is back to her book and Natsuki disappeared into the closet. Man, it looks like no one wants to be bothered today. I slumped down into the nearest desk. How am I supposed to occupy myself with something literature-related by myself like this? I guess I could always read some of the book Yuri gave me, but I'm feeling a little too tired to read. I could probably fall asleep right now. I close my eyes and end up listening in on Sayori's conversation with Monika. We're probably gonna seem really lame compared to all the other clubs, though. Well, we can't give up. The festival's our chance to show everyone what literature is all about. The problem is that the idea of a literature club sounds too dense and intellectual. But it's not like that at all, you know? We just need a way of showing that to everyone. Something that speaks to their creative minds. That doesn't solve the problem, though. What do you mean? Even if we come up with the most fun thing ever, nobody will come in the first place if it's a literature event. So it's more important to figure out how to get people to show up in the first place, you know. I've seen clubs in many different anime that have, well, that goes by different strokes for different folks. And there's like the movie club, there's like a tea club, haunted house, or something like that. And after all, we can do the thing to speak to their creative minds. What's this? Sayori's taking this really seriously. It's rare to hear her deliberating like this. Huh? That's a good point. In that case, do you think food will do the trick? What kind? Well, I guess we could. Cupcakes! Good thinking. What about the cookies? Natsuki would love to do that. You're right. Natsuki makes the best cupcakes. That would work. That works out perfectly. That wasn't why you suggested it. Cupcakes speak to my creative tummy. She's always hungry. Why does she remind me a lot like, Serena Tsukino? Oh, no. We go by her Japanese name, Uzagi Tsukino. Also, I'm supposed to say the other way, Tsukino Uzagi. Cupcakes it is, then. I'm hungry. Anyway, we still need to work out the details of the event itself. I find myself smiling. In the end, Sayori is still her usual self, but therein lies an unexpected reason I admire her. Unlike me, who has trouble finding any motivation at all, Sayori can put her mind to things and make them come to life. I suppose that's why I ended up letting her get on my case about things. I can't help but wonder what it would be like to see the world through her eyes. Okay, that kind of frightened me a little bit. I opened my eyes to find Sayori's face filling my vision. I nearly fall on my chair. Sorry. Wait, actually, I'm not sorry at all. It's your fault for sleeping like that. This isn't the napping club. Does our school have a napping club? You're staying up late again, aren't you? Now that you're in a club, you're gonna have less time for anime, you know. I don't know if there is a napping club in Japan. I believe there would be, and I think there should be, because just like the adults in the corporate world of Japan, kids can get exhausted too. You'll need to get used to it. Don't say that out loud. I glance over my shoulder to see if Monica overheard. It's true, though. Yeah, I know. You're always looking out for me, Sayori. It's what I do best. That's a problem. What about you? You look out for me better than you look out for yourself. You're still oversleeping every day, aren't you? Not every day. That's not very convincing. How many days this past week have you gotten up on time? It's a secret. I knew it. Come on! At least give me the benefit of the doubt. I can't even do that. Look, Sayori, it's written all over you. Sayori glances around at herself. How's it written all over me? You were clearly in a rush this morning. Look at your hair, it's sticking out all around here. Oh, the high school students in a rush to get to school on time. I run my fingertips down the side of Sayori's hair, trying to straighten it out. Man, you really need a brush for this. My hair is just really hard to get right. I won't fall for that. Isn't it always hard for anime characters to get there? Because almost every anime character has trouble with their hair, where it's all pointy. Look, your bow isn't straight either. And there's a toothpaste stain on your collar right there. I didn't try to wipe off the stain with my finger. But nobody would ever notice that. Of course they would. Nobody's gonna tell you about it because they don't want to embarrass you. Fortunately, I really don't care about that. Hey, you meanie. And you don't even keep your laser buttoned up. Seriously, sir. What am I? Her father or something? Why do you think you don't have a boyfriend yet? Oh, that's not the right thing to say. That's super mean. Sorry, but you'll thank me later. I start to button her blazer from the bottom. Once you see how much better it looks, you'll change your mind. Yeah, her blazer right now is still unbuttoned. Okay, she's close. So close. This is so funny. What is? Well, I was just thinking how weird it is to have a friend who does these kinds of things. Wait a minute, what about Monica? Don't say that. You'll make me feel weird about it. It's okay though. I'm happy we're like this. Aren't you? I guess. Hey, be careful. The button might come off. Why is this one so hard to close? I struggled to fully close the button near her chest. Does this thing even fit you properly? It did when I bought it. If you ever buttoned it, you would have noticed it sooner. That it doesn't fit you anymore. What are you smiling about? It means my boobs got bigger. This is not a dating sim. This is not an eroge, just to let you all know. And Susan would probably shut me down regardless. Don't say that out loud. Anyway, you look much better now, so... why does this feel strange to see Sayori's blazer button up like that? But it's so stuffy. It's not worth it at all. Sayori hastily unbuttons her blazer once more. Phew, that's so much better. Sayori puts her arms out and twirls around. So if I keep it unbuttoned, then I won't get a boyfriend, right? What kind of logic is that? The boyfriend is probably me. And why are you saying that like it's a good thing? Because if I had a boyfriend, then he wouldn't even let you do things like this. And you take care of me better than anyone else would anyway. So that's why I'm keeping it unbuttoned. Stop saying all these embarrassing things. I didn't say anything embarrassing. Jeez. Well, anyway, just focus on trying to wake up a little earlier. Only if you focus on going to bed earlier. Fine. Excuse me. It's a deal. I guess we are better at taking care of each other than we are at taking care of ourselves. I guess so. So maybe you should come wake me up in the morning. You're doing it again, Sayori. But I was joking that time. Man, it's impossible to tell with you sometimes. Okay, everyone. Okay, she interjects. Monica suddenly calls out, why don't we share the poems we wrote now? Yay! Ryoko, I can't wait to read yours. Yeah, same. I fail to sound enthusiastic, but Sayori still trots away to retrieve her poem. Who should I show my poem? And I pretty much decided this because I don't know how this would progress. I don't know how this would progress in the story, so I am going to skip skip most of these poem things and get right back into the plot. So that means, well, you all probably know what the poems go, but up there I will have the poems that I read up on the upper right screen. So, let's fast forward a little bit. Alright, her poem reads, Bottles. I pop off my scalp and the lid of the cookie jar is a secret place where... But all I hear is echo, echo, echo. Uh-oh. Well, all I hear is echo, 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 echo inside my head. Oh no, that's... Maybe this can't be good. Save me! The colors, they won't stop. Bright, beautiful colors, flashing, expanding, piercing, red, green, blue, and endless. The canopy. Cacophony. Oh, okay, that's not... Noise. Load me? Uh-oh. What does that mean? Amy likes spiders. You know what I heard about Amy? Amy likes spiders. Icky, wriggly, hairy, ugly spiders. Hey, here where I live, we have spiders all the damn time. It's nothing new. It doesn't matter if she has other hobbies. It doesn't matter if she keeps it private. It's gross. She's gross. The world is better off without spider lovers. And I'm gonna tell everyone. Okay, that's a little dark. I think she's talking about Yuri. The raccoon, it happened in the dead of night while I was slicing bread for a quick snack. For a guilty snack? See, every time I brandish my cutting knife, the raccoon... Uh-oh. That's not... She has a thing for knives. Why is that? And Mark, we are pretty much back to where we were. I had to skip over the poems, but I did leave at the upper right-hand corner pretty much the poems that probably were important. Because they'll be up on the computer again. Well, the OS that's within this game, they'll be up there. Anyway, okay everyone, we're all done reading each other's poems, right? I have something extra planned today, so if everyone could come sit at the front of the room. Is this about the festival? Well, sort of. Do we really have to do something for the festival? It's not like we can put together anything in just a few days. We'll just end up embarrassing ourselves instead of getting any new members. That's a concern of mine as well. I don't really do well with last-minute preparations. Don't worry so much, we're going to keep it simple, okay? We won't need much more than a few decorations. Sayori has been working on posters, and I've designed some pamphlets we can give out during the event. Okay, that's great and all, but that doesn't tell us what we're actually going to be doing for the event. Oh, sorry, I thought you heard about it already. We're going to be performing. Performing? Monica. Yeah, we're going to be having a poetry performance. Each of us are going to choose a poem to recite during the event. But the cool part is, we're also going to let everyone else come up and recite poems too. Sayori putting it on all posters in case anyone wants to prepare ahead of time. Hehehe. Sayori, who's been coloring a poster, holds it up for us to see. Are you kidding me, Monica? You didn't already start putting those posters up, did you? Well, I did. Do you really think it's a bad of an idea? Well, no, it's not a bad idea, but I didn't sign up for this, you know? There is no way I'm going to be performing in front of a group of people like that. I agree with Natsuki. I could never in my life do something like that. Imagining it, Yuri shakes her head in fear. Guys, no, Sayori, I understand where they're coming from. Remember that Natsuki and Yuri have never shared their poems with anyone until just a couple days ago. It's a lot to ask for them to recite their poems out loud to a whole room full of people. But that probably means that she just says that it was a few days ago, so these Natsuki and Yuri are probably new as well. So that side story was probably, I don't know, a week before the main story began. I guess I overlooked that, so I'm sorry. But I still think we should give it our best. We're the only ones responsible for the fate of this club. We start the event and each put on a good performance, then it will inspire others to do the same. And the more people who perform, the better. We'll be able to show everyone what literature is all about. Yeah, it's about expressing your feelings. Be intimate with yourself. Find new horizons. Yes, this is pretty much repeating that side story we just saw. And having fun. That's right. It's those reasons that we're all in this club today. Don't you want to share that with others? To inspire them to find the same feelings that brought you here in the first place? I know you do. We all do. And if all it takes is standing in front of the room for 2 minutes and reciting a poem, then I know you can do it. Natsuki and Yuri remain silent. Sayori looks worried. I guess that leaves me no choice. I agree. I don't think it's too much to ask. I think that Sayori and Monica have been trying really hard to get new members. The least we can do is help them out a little bit. Well, maybe, but it looks like Natsuki doesn't have any arguments left. Okay, fine. I guess I'll just have to get it over with. Alright. Phew. Thanks, Natsuki. What about you, Yuri? Yuri dejectedly glances around at everyone else's expectant faces. I guess I don't really have a choice. That's everyone. You're the best, Yuri. This club is seriously going to be the death of me. Oh god. Foreshadowing? Oh gosh. You'll be fine, Yuri. But anyway, excuse me, let's move on to the main event. I want each of you to choose a poem of yours. We're going to practice reciting them in front of each other. No way, Monica. This is too sudden. Well, if you can't recite your poem in front of the club, how do you expect to do it in front of strangers? Oh no. Don't worry, I'll start off to help everyone feel a little more comfortable. Can I go next? Of course. Now let's see. Monica flips through her notebook to the specific poem she has in mind for herself. She then stands behind the podium. The title of this poem is The Way They Fly. Monica begins reciting her poem. Her clear, confident voice fills the room. More than that, her inflection is pristine. She knows exactly how to apply emotion behind each line she recites, bringing the words to life. Is this something she's done before? Or is she simply a natural? I glance around me. Everyone has their eyes on Monica. Sayori looks amazed. Yuri has an intense expression on her face that I don't understand. I guess her expression is, oh! Finally, Monica finished the recitation. The four of us applaud. Monica takes a breath and smiles. That was so good, Monica. Thank you very much. I was just hoping to set a good example. Are you ready to go next, Sayori? I'll go next. Yuri's fired up all of a sudden. Yuri clutches a sheet of paper with her between her hands and stands up. She's probably shaking. So is shaking in constant fear. She keeps her head down. She walks quickly to the podium. This poem is called... Yuri anxiously glances at each other. You could do it, Yuri. It's called After Image of a Crimson Eye. Yuri's voice shakes as she starts reading the poem. Just a moment ago, she practically refused to do this. Why is she suddenly putting in so much effort? As Yuri gets past the first couple of lines, her voice changes. It's almost like what happens when Yuri gets absorbed into her books. Her quivering words transforms into sharp syllables of a fierce and confident woman. The poem is full of twists and turns in its structure that she enunciates with perfect timing. I'm not doing enunciating myself. This must be a rare glimpse into the whirling fire Yuri keeps concealed inside her head. Suddenly, she finished. Everyone is stunned. Yuri snaps back into reality and glances around her as if she bewildered even herself. She probably read it so fast as well, like... It's up to me to save this situation. I'm the first to start applauding. Yay, yay, yay! Everyone joins me afterwards, and we give Yuri the recognition she deserves. Not that we didn't want to applaud for her, but we were caught off so off guard that we must have forgotten. As we applaud, Yuri holds the poem to her chest and rushes back into her seat. Yeah, and she just goes, shoom! Yuri, that was really good. Thank you for sharing. Looks like Yuri is down for the count. Okay, I guess I'm up next then. Sayori steps out of her chair and cheerfully walks to the podium. This one is called My Meadow. Sorry, I giggled. Sayori, it's a lot harder than I thought. How did you guys do it so easily? Try not to think of it like you're reciting to other people. Imagine you're reciting it to yourself, like in front of a mirror, or in your own head. It's your poem, so it'll come out the best that way. Words, Zero. This is what happens when I do recordings in the morning. I see. Okay then. Sayori begins her poem. Somehow, it feels like her soft voice was made as a perfect match. The poem isn't aimlessly cheery like Sayori is. It's serene and bittersweet. If I were to read this on paper, I probably wouldn't think much of it. But hearing it come from Sayori's voice almost gives it a whole new meaning. Maybe this is what Sayori meant when she said she likes my poems. It's like I get to reach more deeply into someone I thought I knew through and through. Sayori finishes and we applaud. I did it! Good job, Sayori. Even Zero Ryoko liked it. I didn't even know what the poem was. I guess that's a good sign. What does that even mean? It came out nicely, Sayori. The atmosphere of the poem fits you really nicely. But it might be the other poems wouldn't work as well with that kind of delivery. I don't really understand. In other words, I've seen poems of yours where that sort of gentle delivery wouldn't work as well. They might need a little more force behind them, depending on what you're reading. I'm going back to that side story, and Monica had trouble writing poetry. How is she an expert now? Oh, I know what you mean. Well, I've been practicing that kind of thing. It's just embarrassing to do it in front of everyone. Then next time I'm going to make you pick a poem that challenges you a little more. We don't have much time before the festival, you know. Okay, now who's next? Natsuki? Don't make me go before Zero. It's not like I can compare to you guys anyway. I might as well let Zero lower everyone's standards a little before I have to do it. Natsuki. It's fine. I might as well get it over with. But it's not like I have much of a selection I want to read. I'll just have to go with what I wrote for today. I stand up and step in front of the podium. Everyone has their eyes on me, making me feel terribly awkward. I recite my poem. Since I'm not exactly confident in my own writing, it's hard to put energy into it. Despite that, once I finish, I receive applause anyway. Sorry, I'm not really as good as everyone else. Don't worry about it so much. I think it's less about your abilities and more about your lack of confidence in your writing. That's something that'll improve over time, though. Yeah, maybe. Alright then, that just leaves you, Natsuki. Yeah, I'm going. Natsuki begrudgingly gets out of her seat and makes her way to the podium. This poem is called... Why are you looking at me? Because you're presenting. Anyway, the poem is called Jump. I think I know the perfect song goes that da 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 da. I don't know the lyrics to the song Jump, unfortunately. I just know the first few chords. Natsuki takes a breath. Once she starts reciting the poem, her sour attitude disappears a little. While she's still a little unenthused, her poem has a rhyme to it. It's Natsuki's trademark style, and it works surprisingly well when spoken aloud. The words feel like they bounce up and down, as if giving life to the poem. Natsuki finishes and everyone applauds. She huffs back to her seat. That wasn't so bad, was it? Easy for you to say. You better not make me do that again. Well, do you at least feel prepared enough to recite a poem in front of other people? I mean, doing it in front of other people will be way easier. I can put on whatever face I want for other people. But when it's just my friends, it's just embarrassing. That's a surprise, Natsuki. I think it would be the other way around for me. Well, that's just how it is, so... Well, I guess in that case, you won't have much to worry about for the festival. That said, I want to thank everyone for coming, though. It might be hard, but I hope that you all have an idea of what it's like now. Make sure you pick a poem and get enough practice before the festival, okay? Well, I'll be making pamphlets, so let me know ahead of time what you'll be reciting. Jeez. I should probably find some other poem to recite instead. That's fine too. It doesn't have to be your own. I'm already pleasantly surprised that you're putting in all this effort for the club. It makes me really happy. Yeah, no problem. Okay, everyone, I think that's about it for today. I know the festival is coming up, but let's try to write poems for tomorrow as well. It's been working out really nicely so far, so I'd like to continue that. As for the festival, we'll finish planning tomorrow, and then we'll have the weekend to prepare. Monday's the big day. I can't wait. I can do this. Alright. I stand up. There's no way I'll be able to find the same enthusiasm as Sayori and Monica, but I'll do my best to get through it. If it's for the sake of the club, and impressing Monica, then I'll have to do my best. Ready to go, Sayori? Yep. Look at you two, always going home together like that. It's kind of adorable, isn't it? That's why this is probably... those side stories that I saw, it's probably gonna hit hard. Jeez, guys, don't make such a big deal out of it. It must be a little nice, though. Well, how am I supposed to respond to that? It's okay, Zero, you don't have to say it. Whatever, let's go already. I walk home with Sayori once more. Even though it's only been a few days, a lot of things have already changed. But today, Sayori is being a little quieter than usual on the way home. Hey, Sayori. Sorry, I was spacing out. No wonder. I was thinking about something from earlier. I like how we get to... Sayori fumbles with her words. So let's just say that one day Yuri asked to walk home with you. Huh? What would you do? What kind of question is that? You're kind of putting me on the spot here. I would still walk home with Sayori. Sayori, you really think I would ditch you for Yuri? But she's so beautiful and smart. Jeez, I already see her in that club every day. Besides, you always seem to really like going home together. Also, I don't think these choices matter. I wouldn't just ruin that for you. You're so silly, Zero. You think only about... You think about me too much sometimes. Yuri would deserve it if she wanted it, so... Sayori, I've already made up my mind. I really can't figure you out sometimes. Sorry. Besides, what's the point in speculating something that's never going to happen? The conversation trails off. It's kind of a weird thing for Sayori to care so much about. Oh no. I just remembered in the side story that she feels awfully depressed when people worry about her. And that's exactly what I'm doing, but hopefully things will change. But I want to respect her and keep her happy too. Then again, the festival is only a few days away. Who knows what will happen in that time? And now we do the poems all over again. Chocolate, philosophy, Starscape, aura, shopping, music, fluffy, bliss, joy, boop, dream, heaven sent, clumsy, kiss, silly, calm, smile, sweet, comfort, and heart. Yeah, I did a lot of Sayori. And I am probably gonna stop it right here because we're already an hour through. But before we go... Oh, there's another side story. Understanding. Which is Sayori and Yuri. And there's 2 parts of this. So, that's probably the first thing that we're gonna go on the next time. But what are the new pictures, out of curiosity? Oh, it's the new poems. What's this? A poem from Sayori distributed at special events in the past. There was a ladybug. It was so small that... If it doesn't bug you, will you stay a while? Wait, what was that? The one who clings like a doof onto your sleeve because it knows you won't squash it. I wouldn't squash ladybugs. Yeah, well that one has a black background. Anything else? Ah, what's this? A sketch page by David Evelyn to test and compare different hairstyles for Sayori. See, you can see my mouse. I like this one right here. But I'm not... Wait, what? Acquisition procedure in Act 1. Tell Sayori you would still walk home... Then tell Sayori you would still walk home with her. Oh, so I would see this picture if I made that choice. But other than that, I don't know what's going to happen from here on out. Let's just hope with the side stories that I don't screw myself over and we just get a repeat of the original Doki Doki Literature Club. I would like to see a different ending. However, if you haven't played Doki Doki Literature Club, I don't want to spoil anything. Not yet. Anyway, thank you for watching. If you want to stay up to date, follow me on Twitter. If you want to see more of what I got, sub and ring. See you on the far side, and as always, anime forever. Bye-bye!